This fire broke out at the Mickelbarry Sausage Company at 49th and Halstead just before 4:30. Within minutes, extra alarms were sounded. A series of explosions were heard. They were followed by one tremendous blast. By then, many firemen and several workers from the Mickelbarry plant office were atop the roof of the two-story brick building. The firemen were trying to help the workers to safety. The explosion blew about 25 persons off the roof and crumbled the wall. Since then, firemen have been searching the rubble for more victims. Meantime, other firemen continued to fight the flames. It was 2 hours before the fire was declared under control. There are conflicting reports on how the fire and explosions started. Ammonia was used as a refrigerant in the building, but officials say a gasoline truck parked behind the plant probably caused the main explosion. Victims of the disaster were taken to more than a half dozen nearby hospitals. Dozens are reported in critical condition tonight. Among the injured are at least 18 Chicago firemen. Some were seriously hurt. 4 of the 5 dead persons have been identified. They were Fire Captain John Fisher of the 11th Battalion, Fireman Charles Bother, B-O-T-T-A-T-R, Fireman Edward Leister, and an employee of the Mickelbarry Company, Thomas Mongan. One young man has not been identified. There normally are about 85 persons in this plant during the day shift, but most of them had gone home when the fire started. The main explosion was so powerful that it blew out windows and injured children playing several blocks away.
This is Chicago's #1 source for news, the NBC News Night Report with Floyd Kelp.
Chicago Fire Commissioner Robert Quinn would give no dollar estimate of the damage caused in today's fire and explosions at the Mickelbarry Sausage Company plant, but he did say that the plant was 50% destroyed. 2 of the first persons on the scene were Deering District Police Officer Arnold Cycler and Richard Condon. NBC News' Marty O'Connor talked with Condon, Commissioner Quinn, and the foreman of the sausage plant.
Officer Condon, you and your partner were patrolling North on Alta Street today. What happened?
About 19 minutes after 4, we seen a big cloud of smoke and a man running down the street. He stated that his gasoline truck was on fire. He hit something back in the alley there and it caught fire.
You caught him running down the street?
Right.
What did you do then?
And, we call on our dispatcher, our radio dispatcher, we called him and informed that there was a fire at 49th Place in Halstead, Mickelbarry. We told him to get the fire department over there, and so we started to evacuate the people out of the building then.
You started directing traffic?
We were directing traffic right here at 49th Place in Halstead.
What happened?
There was a tremendous explosion. Blocks and glass and bricks were flying, and it knocked me across the street into the building over there. When I picked myself up, there was firemen heading towards me with big cuts on their heads and broken arms. It was a terrible disaster. My partner and myself took 4 firemen the first trip to Evangelical Hospital. And on the way back, we had 3 tires that were flat. We picked up 3 other firemen, and we drove with the flat tires back to the Evangelical Hospital. We came back to the scene here. We've been here since.
What blew up, Commissioner?
Well, we are not definitely sure right now, but there's a 6,000-gallon gasoline truck in the alley.
Did the place have ammonia in it, Commissioner?
Oh, there's ammonia there, yes, but we were concerned about that truck in the back, how it got there, what it was doing there.
Is the driver available?
No, we don't know where he's at. He's left.
Do you have any idea how many people are still in the building?
There's one that they say is unaccounted for, a civilian.
Is that a woman, Commissioner?
No, ma'am.
Commissioner, do you know how many firemen were on the walls and on the roof when you blew?
Well, we don't know just where they were at. The first alarm company came in and there was a volume of fire and they pulled their back. And the usual way of working your fire is they got in position and all of a sudden, without a warning, the walls blew out. Which indicated that it was highly filled and the inside was some kind of fuel. Now, whether it was gasoline, we don't know at this time, but we're wondering about that gasoline truck in the back.
Was the shift going off duty?
The last part of the day shift was going off duty. We, of course, maintain a very small night shift, mainly for cleanup. And
many people were all in the building at the time. Most of them are definitely accounted for now. What do you have in that cooling that could cause an explosion? Do you have any ammonia in there? We use ammonia for refrigeration. Do you have any gasoline? No. Could it have been an ammonia explosion? I don't know. I wouldn't expect it.
Many children were playing near the sausage plant when the fire and explosions occurred. Some of them were thrown across the street. So were some of the firemen, as we heard earlier. NBC Newsman Ted Albert went to Evangelical Hospital, where he talked with two of the victims, a fireman and an unidentified youngster.
Tell us what happened as you got to that. I don't have the slightest idea. I was told it's drawn a blank. I don't remember a thing. I don't even remember leaving the firehouse. I don't even remember being on the snorkel. Or I don't know what I was on. Somewhere I was told I was on the snorkel.
And there was an explosion?
I don't remember it. Just got a blank. That's that.
While I was standing on the corner watching the fire, then all of a sudden the place exploded and I hit the ground and just covered my head in that and this and that, bounced off and all that. But then all of a sudden, there was a man standing next to me. I saw a big old brick hit him in the head. And then all of a sudden he flipped over and that was it. Then my brother got hurt and just sickening, that's all. And then there was this man that killed my little brother. I don't know his name, but I'd like to thank him.
The car of the company president, Roy Laidley, was found crumpled beside the building just a short time ago, and Laidley is unaccounted for tonight.
It was horrible. You thought it was the end of the world right there. It was really horrible. People were flying and guys were laying on top of there's a used car lot there. People laying all over the place, glass, bricks flying, everything else. It was really horrible.
How were you able?
It was up the back of the leg, and the back of the head.
The coroner's office and area hospitals have released this list of persons killed in the Mickelbarry explosion and fire. Fire Captain John Fisher, age 40, of 8230 South Hermitage Avenue. Fireman Charles Bacher, age 27, of 10725 Normal Avenue. Fireman Edward Leister, age 40, of 6151 South Wilcott Avenue. All three are from the 11th Battalion. Thomas Munden, age 58, of 1641 East 89th Street, a general auditor for Mickelbarry. A youth, about 17, has not been identified. His body is at Providence Hospital.
Returning to quarters. Kinsey and Keeler is called for returning to quarters and in service. That's a routine 95. 3493. 5746 Sheridan Road. Nebraska Lamb 5746.
Nebraska Lamb 5746 Sheridan Road. Nebraska Lamb 5746 North Sheridan Road. Clear 3711. Item 11, the window, what emergency? Go ahead, Battalion 11. Up to you, baby. Look with your back. Still in back to Lamb Fire 50th and Halstead. Still in back to Lamb Fire 50 and Halstead.
Still in back to Lamb Fire 50 and Halstead.
Battalion 29 to Windowwood, second engine and truck returning. 73 and a 2 will be here 10 minutes. Let me see Battalion 29. Battalion 11. Go ahead, Battalion 11. Let's do it for Reed's truck. Message received. 7 to May, when you strike out the box at 5746 Sheridan Road, it's pulled by kids.
Okay, truck 47. Nebraska Lamb 5746 Sheridan Road struck out information received from truck 47. Nebraska Lamb 5746.
Nebraska Lamb 5746 Sheridan Road struck out an information from truck 47.
Responding, return to quarters.
Nebraska Lamb 5746 Sheridan Road struck out an information from truck 47. All companies responding, return to quarters.
Here with Division 4. Body of 3, we got a working fire. Methodist 2, Division 4. Here with Division 4. Perfect 211, would you please? Will you use the proper procedures? Give you 211 Division 4. 211 on number 5, 50 and South Boston. On orders of Division 4. 211 on number 5, 50th and Halton on orders of Division 4. Tennessee 711. Who's calling me? 219 to me, 219 responding to the 211. Okay, 219. Hey, you live in Inglewood. Would you give us the Edison and the... the Tony Edison, the 711. 7 for 2, you said what that was? 492, man, the 492. It was a gas truck. Working fine. Okay, 493, man, the 492. Okay, 50 more on it. You got 211 now on it. There's 211 coming from the west, and local traffic is flying off of here. We'll give you traffic control. Repeat the first part of your message. 211 coming from the west. Message is Division 29. All 211 area from the west. All 211 companies responding 50th and Hartford come in from the west. All 211 companies responding to fire 50th and Hartford. 211 companies come in from the west. The coast division, give us the 311. Let's receive it, 11A. 311 on number fire. 50th and Halton on orders of Division 4. 311 on number fire. 50th and Halton on orders of Division 4. Okay, 476. 216. Okay, commanders of the 4th Division have 2 engine companies on this 411 to this from the west. Lead out, I think there'll be a little hurry between 29th place and 50th and Green Street to cover your exposures. That's the 2 to plane 11. 2138, 2138. Hey, with the Tiger 12. I just arrived. I'll give a second. The cannon arrived in Inglewood. I don't know. In the surveillance division, this whole thing blew up. I had a fire on my street. That's a good thing. Inglewood, 11. 5 ambulances. The people heard. Alright, what's your name? Alright, messages, that flows into the one all ambulances in there, the 411 and who ordered? Messages to a 411 on the building is faster than laying about, they're firing laying around pretty bad here. All the ambulances are fire. Messages to the 411, the 4th Division. Division 4, 50th and Halted. A 411 alarm fire by Division 4, 50th and Halted. 216. 2112 whenever. 2112 whenever. We're down to 11 ambulances here. All companies stand by. Battalion 11, go ahead. Battalion 11, go ahead. Plan 3 by orders of 224 and you want 5 ambulances. It's all green and blown up. There's guys all over the street. Okay. Ambulance 1, man, ambulance 1. Ambulance 1, you took in the 411. Ambulance 1 in the 411. Right. Englewood Division 4. Our report is it blew up the whole rest of the okay, what did you got of it? Engine 18? Engine 18, a minute. Go ahead. The phone through here, will you please? Okay. We're trying to get them there as soon as possible. 21, main of battalion 21. Okay, battalion 11, surround the area. Engine 9, take in the 411. Truck 37, truck 37. Truck 37 Englewood. Truck 37 is fine and still around 650, west 51st. 650, west 51st. 650, west 51st. 51st. 650, west 51st. That's right, truck. Responding. Okay, to 111. Okay, to 17. Four 6-1, made a 461. Go ahead, Division 4. 511 orders at 217. Give me a 511 orders at 217. 511 around fire, 50th and Halsted on orders at 217. A 511 around the fire, 50th and Halsted on orders of 217. KC 711. 404. Location. Take a still at 4834 Prairie. Clean them in. Battalion 18. High pressure will be here a while. We're leaving. Go back quarters. Okay. Engine 98. Engine 98 to me. 98 to me. You have a still at 4834 Prairie. We'll never make it. We're caught in traffic. I'm barely moving. Okay. Engine 101. Big away. Okay. Engine 16, engine 16. Are you on the scene yet at 51st Street? Okay, call us right away. Go ahead, 424. Building communications by orders of 217. Okay, your communications 217's orders. 12 at the scene. 714 to Englewood. 216 on the scene. Okay, ambulance calling Englewood, go ahead. Battalion 14 to Englewood. We're at 99th and Torrance. Do not find anything. Do you have any further location? 240 Englewood. That's all we have, Battalion 14. We don't find anything here. Our units will return to quarters. Let's you see Battalion 14. Go ahead, 424. Ambulances by orders of 217. How many? 2 more. 2 more ambulances by orders of 217. Okay. 2112, main to 2112. 424, main to 424.
Yeah, Captain, man, get some strawberries in there from the police.
2112, repeat.
Strawberries under the screen, will you?
215, get all the phones you can available.
Go ahead, 424.
I know
with the
215, get all the
Finger with the 424. Go ahead.
Call the shop and get all the things in the cars and tell them to load a truck and send it to the scene.
Okay. Finger with the 424, I cannot reach you at all. You're cutting out.
Doing the same thing, you what? I don't know what's the matter. They're trying to get in with these portables.
Finger with the 424, I read you okay that time. Try your message again now. 77 minutes.
Rick, Wagon.
Are you available?
Message is 424.
We'll be ready. I checked the box. We have rubbers at 1245 Kaminsky. 1245 Kaminsky. Right. Handle with ambulance 2. Ambulance 2.
Go ahead,
11.
From the schools and everything that's on the 511. There's all kinds of things here. Which sub is it? Sub 87.
All right, stand by here a minute 16. Ambulance 2 emergency.
Ambulance 23 to main.
Ambulance 23, this is Englewood, taking the 511.
What is it outside that precinct?
50th and Halsted, ambulance 23.
Engine 16, you return to your own quarters. Move out 1227 and 637.
Let them stay on the radio. I'll get to them in a minute.
Right.
77 to main. 77.
That inside pull of Lexington is still there, but it's set now.
Okay, you're taking the rubbish now, right?
Correct.
Okay.
4-3 to main.
213.
Just look at progress.
Repeat.
Set up out there.
424 is on the scene out there. He's communication center. Okay. 424, man, to 424. 424, I know it is at 213. Give us a progress report.
Let me see how kind of progress. The explosion occurred in the building on the southwest corner of 50th and Halsted. We have numerous people injured and some still in the rubble. All companies working attempting to remove the people. Building is about 300 feet by 125. It was about 3 stories. Parts of it are rubble.
Okay, 424. 213, man, to 213. 213. Now, with a 3-story, 200 by 125, most of it has collapsed. A number of people injured, some still in the rubble. All companies working.
Okay,
424. 492.
162 service.
Okay, ambulance 6.
Truck 37, truck 37. 37 Lord. Truck 37 going service at truck 15. 37 truck 15 quarters.
Right.
Englewood, fog pressure 10. Fog pressure 10. Up head Englewood. Fog pressure 10, return to your own quarters.
We're calling Englewood.
Hey, 10-8.
Go ahead, Battalion 10.
2874 Perry, here we have a check going into Rick completely involved. There's a possibility of communication. Have Edison to come on the outside line.
Let's receive Battalion 10. Okay, 482.
Battalion 10 Inglewood.
Battalion 10.
Have another engine company at 113.
That's 4832 Prairie.
Okay. 17 to Englewood. Truck 27, Battalion 17 are returning to quarters.
Okay, Battalion 17. Battalion 11 in Englewood, I'm leaving you and sending the team. We're going back to the Fire Battalion 11A. Okay. Englewood, engine 16, engine 16. Engine 16, engine 16. Englewood to engine 16, engine 16. Engine 16, return to its killer line at 4832 Prairie. 4832 Prairie. 4832 Prairie, let's go. That's right. 467 Inglewood. Who's calling Inglewood? 467 Inglewood. The 467? Correct. Request the box number of the extra line fire. That's box 2248. 2248. Position engine.
The main, we got to lead out on some rubbish on commence to be here about 5 minutes. We'll be available in case you need us empty 20.
Okay, 77. 424, 424. Hang over to 424, 424. Inglewood to 424.
This is 424. Go ahead, Inglewood.
All right, there's a private ambulance volunteered their ambulance. It's a green 68 Ford KP ambulance. Let them in if they come in.
That's a 3-4.
Inglewood engine 98. Location.
This is 480 Inglewood. Would you pull down administrator?
46th Street.
622.
That is correct.
That's a 3-4.
Freedom. 213.
Staying in some of those cheap for ambulances. I'll be using a private one.
That's a good date.
Battalion 10 Inglewood. Service.
Okay.
Service.
Okay, ambulance 3. Ambulance 6, disregard and return to quarters.
Ambulance 3 quarters.
Okay, ambulance 22. Okay, 77. Inglewood to all ambulance handling fire department personnel. Report at your hospital destination. Call the office when you arrive at the hospital. Inglewood to all ambulance handling fire personnel. Report to Inglewood office when you arrive at the hospital. Battalion 2.
Heading to the main.
Battalion 2, you responded to 511 alarm fire as an ambulance.
Infantry.
Engine 98 to Englewood. Engine 98 to Englewood. 98, if you have a south frequency, change to the south frequency. Engine 98 to Englewood. Englewood at 98, go ahead. We think you sponsored 622, 46, nothing here. Okay, 98, you change quarters and go in service engine 45. Okay, to 111. Company calling Englewood, go ahead.
Ambulance 4. We're returning to the scene of the fire.
Did you handle fire department personnel?
No. Civilian.
Okay, ambulance 4. 6-1 to main. 461. Okay. Englewood at 424, ambulance 4 is returning to the fire. Message received. Ambulances removing fire department personnel, call the office from the hospital immediately. All ambulances removing fire department personnel from the 511, report to the office immediately. 213.
The helicopter going to do?
Stand by. The answer is no.
Why don't you?
We will. Main of Battalion 10.
Battalion 10 to the main.
Have engine 8 go in service at engine 50 and engine 16 to their own quarters.
16 is on the Englewood frequency. I'm measuring engine 8 pages. They are en route.
Engine 8, did you get that?
Engine 50.
Right, engine 8. Engine 16 is to your own quarters.
Mother received engine 15.
Repeat the name. 484. 484, you're picking up, we can't read you. That's 4, we cannot read you. 484, okay, 4. 3213. 213 to 57. Okay.
Hey, Ford SS3. Ford SS3. Ford SS3. Hey, Ford SS3. 424 to SS3.
Alex 14. There's people on Christmas and Halter right on the northeast corner. 424. Englewood 424. 215 to 424. 424 to Englewood.
Four-eight on me, returning the quarters.
Message received at 424 to Englewood.
Englewood 424.
Orders of 216 have all responding ambulances returned to their quarters.
To their own quarters.
Message received. Open road with the way closed. For the notice. All plans fine. Open road. All ambulances report 14 with it. Quarters of 511 return to your own quarters. All ambulances and chief buggies operating as ambulances at the 511 return to your own quarters.
Ambulance 14, at all, by orders of 216, all ambulances are to return to their own quarters.
Only 14 messages received. Orders and all ambulances on the scene now, Englewood. Ambulance 18, message received. Ambulance 21, named ambulance 21. 124 to Englewood.
424, go ahead.
Does not mean the ambulance is on the scene.
Alright, ambulance 14, ambulance 14.
Riot 2 to man returning to quarters. Okay, 14.
Do remain on the scene if you're there.
Remain to all ambulances and buggies operating as ambulances.
Remain on the scene, ambulance 18. All ambulance companies on the scene remain on the scene.
Remain on the scene.
All ambulances responding return to your own quarters.
To Englewood.
Go ahead, 424.
You're assuming that the 211 is on the scene.
Message received 424. Edison advises the power is shut off between 50th and 51st, Halsted West. Do you want any more power shut off?
That's all they want.
Okay.
Battalion 7-8, Battalion 7 on the scene in order to quarters by 216.
Okay, Battalion 7.
Do you have any further instructions?
Stand by, Battalion 7.
Battalion 7-8 to Englewood.
Englewood, Battalion 7.
By orders of 216, we're ordered to quarters. Further instructions.
424 to Englewood.
Stand by a minute, Battalion 7. Go ahead, 424.
One fighters on the scene. There's two ambulance companies and ambulance 1, ambulance 2, and division, 2 for the Battalion 7. Returning to quarters. We're taking the filling.
Okay, 424. Battalion 7, return to your quarters. Ambulance 1, ambulance 2, return to your quarters.
Englewood ambulance 1 and ambulance 2 return to your quarters. Sir, message received. 415 to main. Repeat to main. 415 to main. 415. Dr. 511. Message received. 415, there's a plan 3 in effect on that fire. Battalion 7, Battalion 7. Battalion 7, this is Englewood. Change quarters and go in service at Battalion 16.
Change quarters to Battalion 16's quarters.
That's for Battalion 7.
Battalion 7, message received.
Okay.
424 to engine 49. You have a line to the rear of the building that is burnt. Shut down. Engine 22 to me. 22. 22 in service. Returning to quarters. Okay, 22. 424 to engine 49. 417A and have me at 49 miles. 245 to 424. 4178, 417. first line, just down the line in the rear of the building.
417A, main to 417A.
Yeah, 2 lanes into a circle. Who's that? Is it 49? 49 might have a airline in the rear, I'll check. Oh, no.
Four main engine, 44. You're climbing 2756 low pass?
756 low.
Okay.
Hi, David.
Message received, ambulance 20.
13 to Maine, 413 to Maine.
413.
The way into Evangelica Deaconess Hospital.
Message received.
Go ahead, engine 84. What is your message, engine 84? What is your message, engine 84? What is your message, engine 84? Go ahead, engine 84. Negative 54 to 424. 84. Go ahead, 84. Go ahead, engine 84. We do not have it. Go to Inglewood. Inglewood 84. 84, send your message. Alright, stand by 84. Inglewood to 424. I read engine 84 before, but we do not know their location, and I tried to raise them. Alright. Did you get that 84? Alright.
Company responding 2756 Wilcox, return to quarters. 413, 413.
424 to Inglewood. 413 to Maine, 413 to Maine.
413. 413, this is Inglewood. We have
424 to Inglewood.
definite lady at Inglewood, Central Community, and Evangelical.
All right, I'll hit them all.
All right.
Inglewood to 424. The 213, he would like a report from the hospital about injured firemen only. 424, advise 213 that we have tried to get that information from the hospitals, and they do not wish to give us that information. As a group is
210.
Center of the Maine.
This fire broke out at the Mickelbarry Sausage Company at 49th and Halstead just before 4:30. Within minutes, extra alarms were sounded. A series of explosions were heard. They were followed by one tremendous blast. By then, many firemen and several workers from the Mickelbarry plant office were atop the roof of the two-story brick building. The firemen were trying to help the workers to safety. The explosion blew about 25 persons off the roof and crumbled the walls. Since then, firemen have been searching the rubble for more victims. Meantime, other firemen continued to fight the flames. It was 2 hours before the fire was declared under control. There are conflicting reports on how the fire and explosions started. Ammonia was used as a refrigerant in the building, but officials say a gasoline truck parked behind the plant probably caused the main explosion. Victims of the disaster were taken to more than a half dozen nearby hospitals. Dozens are reported in critical condition tonight. Among the injured are at least 18 Chicago firemen. Some were seriously hurt. 4 of the 5 dead persons have been identified. They were Fire Captain John Fisher of the 11th Battalion, Fireman Charles Bother, B-O-T-T-A-T-R, Fireman Edward Leister, and an employee of the Mickelbarry Company, Thomas Mongan. One young man has not been identified. There normally are about 85 persons in this plant during the day shift, but most of them had gone home when the fire started. The main explosion was so powerful that it blew out windows and injured children playing several blocks away.
This is Chicago's #1 source for news. The NBC News Night Report with Floyd Shelp.
Chicago Fire Commissioner Robert Quinn would give no dollar estimate of the damage caused in today's fire and explosions at the Mickelbarry Sausage Company plant, but he did say that the plant was 50% destroyed. 2 of the first persons on the scene were Deering District Police Officer Arnold Cycler and Richard Condon. NBC News' Marty O'Connor talked with Condon, Commissioner Quinn, and the foreman of the sausage plant.
Officer Condon, you and your partner were patrolling North and Alta Street today. What happened?
About 19 minutes after 4, we seen a big cloud of smoke and a man running down the street. He stated that his gasoline truck was on fire. He hit something back in the alley there and it caught fire.
You caught him running down the street?
Right.
What did you do then?
And we call on our dispatcher, our radio dispatcher, we called him and informed that there was a fire at 49th Place in Austin, Mickelbarry. We told him to get the fire department over there, and so we started to evacuate the people out of the building then.
You started directing traffic?
We were directing traffic right here at 49th Place in Austin.
What happened?
There was a tremendous explosion, blocks and glass and bricks were flying and knocked me across the street into the building over there. When I picked myself up, there was firemen heading towards me with big cuts on their heads and broken arms. It was a terrible disaster. My partner and myself took 4 firemen the first trip to Evangelical Hospital. And on the way back, we had 3 tires that were flat. We picked up 3 other firemen and we drove with the flat tires back to the Evangelical Hospital. We came back to the scene here and we've been here since.
What blew up, Commissioner?
Well, we are not definitely sure right now, but there's a 6,000-gallon gasoline truck in the alley.
Did the place have ammonia in it, Commissioner?
Well, there's ammonia there, yes, but we were concerned about that truck in the back, how it got there, what it was doing there.
Is the driver available?
No, we don't know where he's at. He's left.
Do you have any idea how many people are still in the building?
There's one that they say is unaccounted for, a civilian.
Is that a woman, Commissioner?
No, ma'am.
Commissioner, do you know how many firemen were on the walls and on the roof when you blew?
Well, we don't know just where they were at. The first alarm company came in and there was a volume of fire and they pulled their back. And the usual way of working your fire is they got in position and all of a sudden, without a warning, the walls blew out. Which indicated that it was highly filled and the inside was some kind of fuel. Now, whether it was gasoline, we don't know at this time, but we're wondering about that gasoline truck in the back.
Was the shift going off duty? The last part of the day shift was going off duty. We, of course, maintain a very small night shift, mainly for cleanup. And these people were all in the building at the time. Most of them are definitely accounted for now. What do you have in that building that could cause an explosion? Do you have any ammonia in there? We use ammonia for refrigeration. Do you have any gasoline? No. Could it have been an ammonia explosion? I don't know. I wouldn't touch it.
Many children were playing near the sausage plant when the fire and explosions occurred. Some of them were thrown across the street. So were some of the firemen, as we heard earlier. NBC Newsman Ted Albert went to Evangelical Hospital, where he talked with two of the victims, a fireman and an unidentified youngster.
Tell us what happened as you got to that one. It was decided like you. I was told next door on the plant. I don't remember a thing. I don't even remember leaving the firehouse. I don't even remember being on the snorkel. Or I don't know what I was on. Somewhere I was told I was on the snorkel.
And there was an explosion?
I don't remember it. I was just at a plant.
While I was standing on the corner watching the fire, then all of a sudden the place exploded and I hit the ground and just covered my head in that and this and that, bounced off and all that. But then all of a sudden, there was a man standing next to me. I saw a big old brick hit him in the head. And then that all of a sudden he flipped over and that was it. Then my brother got hurt and just sickening, that's all. And then there was this man that killed my little brother. I don't know his name, but I'd like to thank him.
The car of the company president, Roy Laidley, was found crumpled beside the building just a short time ago, and Laidley is unaccounted for tonight.
It was horrible. You thought it was the end of the world right there. It was really horrible. People were flying and guys were laying on top of there's a used car lot there. People laying all over the place, glass, bricks flying, everything else. It was really horrible.
How were you age?
It was up back in the leg, over the back of the head.
The coroner's office and area hospitals have released this list of persons killed in the Mickelbarry explosion and fire. Fire Captain John Fisher, age 40, of 8230 South Hermitage Avenue. Fireman Charles Bosser, age 27, of 10725 Normal Avenue. Fireman Edward Leaster, age 40, of 6151 South Wilcott Avenue. All three are from the 11th Battalion. Thomas Munden, age 58, of 1641 East 89th Street, a general auditor for Mickelbarry. A youth, about 17, has not been identified. His body is at Providence Hospital.
Returning to quarters. Kinsey and Keeler is called for returning to quarters and in service. That's what received 95. 3493. 5746 Sheridan Road. Abaxalam 5746. Abaxalam 5746 Sheridan Road. Abaxalam 5746 North Sheridan Road. KSC 711. Item 11, the window at emergency. Go ahead, Battalion 11. That's true, baby. We'll give you a back. Coming back to line fire 50th and Halstead. Coming back to line fire 50 in Halstead. Coming back to line fire 50 in Halstead. Battalion 29 to Winglewood, second engine and truck returning. 73 and a 2 will be here 10 minutes. Let me see Battalion 29. Battalion 11. Go ahead, Battalion 11. Let's do it for truck. That's a good speed. 7 to May, when you strike out the box at 5746 Sheridan Road and pulled by kids. Okay, truck 47. The Baxalam 5746 Sheridan Road struck out information received from truck 47. The Baxalam 5746. Baxalam 5746 Sheridan Road struck out an information from truck 47. Responding, returning quarters. Baxalam 5746 Sheridan Road struck out an information from truck 47. All companies responding, return to quarters. I know what Division 4. Fire 2, got working fire.
Methodist 2, Division 4. Haywood, Division 4.
Surface 211, would you please?
Will you use the proper procedures? This is 211, Division 4. 211 on the fire. 5-0 and South Boston.
Orders of Division 4.
Orders of Division 4.
Alarm fire.
211 on the fire. 50th and Halton on orders of Division 4. Tennessee 711.
Who's calling me?
219 to me, 219 responding to the 211.
Okay, 219.
Where do you live in Inglewood? Could you give us the Edison and the Edison, Battalion 11?
117.
7 for 2, and say what that was.
492, man, the 492.
Then it was an air truck. 1 and 5.
Okay, 493, man, the 492.
Okay, put your hand on it. You got a 211 now on it. The 211 is coming from the west, and look for traffic is flying off of here. We'll give you traffic control. Repeat the first part of your message.
211 coming from the west.
Message is
Division 29.
all 211.
Area from the west.
All 211 companies responding 50th and Hartford come in from the west. All 211 companies responding to fire 50th and Hartford. 211 companies come in from the west. How many of these have the cost division? Give us the 311. Let's receive it, Battalion 11A. 311 on line of fire. 50th and Hartford on orders of Division 4. 311 on line of fire. 50th and Hartford on orders of Division 4.
Okay, 476. 216. Respond.
Commanders of the 4th Division and 2 Division companies on this 411 come in from the west. Lead out. I think there'll be a little hurry. It's in 29th place and 51 Green Street. Cover your exposures. That's the 2 to Battalion 11.
2138, 2138.
Haywood, Battalion 12. I just arrived. I'll give a second. Battalion 11 Inglewood. Hallelujah. In the surveillance division, this whole thing blew up. And the 411 street. That's a good thing. Inglewood, emergency. 5 ambulances. And that's the people here. All right, what's your All right, messages. That flows into the 1 hour ambulances in there, and the 411 and who orders? Messages to 411. The building is faster than they're about. They're turning my way around pretty bad here. All the ambulances are. Messages to the 411.
The 4th Division.
411 alarm fire by Division 4, 50th and Hartford. 411 alarm fire by Division 4, 50th and Hartford.
216. 2112, whatever. 2112, whatever.
Battalion 11 emergency is Inglewood. All companies stand by. Battalion 11, go ahead. Battalion 11, go ahead. Plan 3 by orders of 224, and you want 5 ambulances. It's all green and blown up. There's guys all over the screen. Okay.
Ambulance 1, man, ambulance 1. Ambulance Ambulance 1, you took in the 411. Ambulance 1 in the 411. Right. Englewood Division 4. Our report is it blew up the whole rest of the Okay, what do you got of it? Engine 18? Engine 18, a minute. Go ahead. The phone through there, will you please? Okay. We're trying to get them there as soon as possible. 21, main of battalion, 21. Okay, battalion 11, surround the area. Engine 9, take in the 411. Truck 37, truck 37. Truck 37 Englewood. Truck 37 is fine and still around 650, west 51st. 650, west 51st. 650, west 51st. 51st. 650, west 51st. That's right, truck. Responding. Okay, to 111. Okay, to 17. Four-6-1, made a 4-6-1. Go ahead, Division 4. 511 hours of 217. Give me a 511 hours of 217. 511 on our fire, 50th and Halsted on orders of 217. A 511 on the fire, 50th and Halsted on orders of 217. KFC 711. 404. Location. Take a still at 4834 Prairie. Screen them in. Battalion 18. High pressure will be here a while. We're leaving. Go back quarters. Okay. Engine 98. Engine 98 to me. 98 to me. You have a still at 4834 Prairie. We'll never make it. We're caught in traffic. I'm barely moving. Okay. Engine 101. Big away. Okay. Engine 16, Engine 16. Are you on the scene yet at 51st Street? Okay, call us right away. Go ahead, 424. Building communications by orders of 217. Okay, your communications, 217's orders. 12 at the scene. 714 to Englewood. 116 on the scene. Okay, ambulance calling Englewood, go ahead. Battalion 14 to Englewood. We're at 99th and Torrance. Do not find anything. Do you have any further location? 240 Englewood. That's all we have, Battalion 14. We don't find anything here. I'll just go return to quarters. Let you see Battalion 14. Go ahead, 424. Ambulances by orders of 217. How many? 2 more. 2 more ambulances by orders of 217. Okay. 2112, main to 2112. 424, main to 424.
Yeah, Captain, man, just some strawberries in there from the police.
2112, repeat.
Strawberries under the scene, will you?
215, get all the phones you can available.
Go ahead, 424.
And all
Hang on with the 424. Go ahead.
Call the shop and get out of the cars and tell them to load a truck and send it to the scene.
Okay. Either with the 424, I cannot reach you at all. You're cutting out.
Getting the same thing, what I don't know what's the matter. They're trying to get in with these portables.
Either with the 424, I read you okay that time. Try your message again now. 77 minutes.
Canadian 6 Police Squad Wagon.
Are you available?
That message is 424.
We'll be ready. I checked the box. We have rubbers at 1245 Kaminsky. 1245 Kaminsky. Right. Handle with ambulance 2. Ambulance 2. 11.
I'm checking from the explosion, evidently from the 511. There's all types of scenery here. What truck is it?
Truck 87.
Truck 87.
All right, stand by here a minute 16. Ambulance 2 emergency.
Ambulance 23 to main.
Ambulance 23, this is Englewood, taking the 511.
What is the subject precinct?
50th and Halsted, ambulance 23.
Engine
16. Engine 16, you return to your own quarters.
we're about 12 and truck 37.
You must stay on the radio. I'll get to him in a minute.
Right.
77 the main. 77.
That inside full of Lexington in a show there, but it's set now.
Okay, you're taking the rubbish now, right?
Correct.
Okay.
4-3 to main.
213.
Just look at progress.
Repeat.
Set up out there.
424 is on the scene out there. He's communication center. Okay. 424, man, to 424. 424, I ordered the 213. Give us a progress report.
Lexington is on progress. The explosion occurred in the building on the southwest corner of 50th and Halsted. We have numerous people injured and some still in the rubble. All companies working attempting to remove the people. Building is about 300 feet by 125. It was about 3 stories. Parts of it are levels.
Okay, 424. 213, man, to 213. 213. Now, with a 3-story, 200 by 125, most of it has collapsed. A number of people injured, some still in the rubble. All companies working.
$492. 511.
Okay, 424. 492.
Number 62 service.
Okay, ambulance 6.
Truck 37, truck 37. 37 Lord. Truck 37 going service at truck 15. 37 to truck 15 quarters.
Right.
Englewood, fog pressure 10. Fog pressure 10. Up at Englewood. Fog pressure 10, return to your own quarters.
We're calling Englewood.
Hey, 10-8.
Go ahead, Battalion 10.
2834 Perry, here we have a check going in a rear completely involved. There's a possibility of communication. Have Edison to come on the outside line.
Let's receive Battalion 10. Okay, 482.
Battalion 10 Englewood.
Hey, Battalion 10.
Have another engine coming in at
4832 Prairie. Okay.
17 to Englewood. Truck 27, Battalion 17 are returning to quarters.
Okay, Battalion 17. Battalion 11 in Englewood, I'm leaving you from Center to see. Go back to the fire Battalion 11 area. Okay. Englewood engine 16, engine 16. Engine 16, engine 16. Englewood to engine 16, engine 16. Engine 16, return to its color line at 4832 Prairie. 4832 Prairie. 4832 Prairie, let's go. That's right. 467 Englewood. Who's calling Englewood? 467 Englewood. That's 467? Correct. Request the box number of the extra line fire. That's box 2248. 2248. Position engine.
We got to lead out on some rubbish on commence to be here about 5 minutes. We'll be available in case you need us empty 20.
Okay, 77. 424, 424. Hang over to 424, 424. Englewood to 424.
This is 424. Go ahead, Englewood.
All right, there's a private ambulance volunteered their ambulance. It's a green 68 Ford. KT ambulance. Let them in if they come in.
That's a 3, sir.
Englewood engine 98. Your location.
This is 480 Englewood. Would you switch over to Administrator?
46th Street. That is correct.
That's a 3, sir.
Freedom. To 1 Street.
Saying in some of those chiefs for ambulances. I'll be using a private one.
That's a 3 Street.
Battalion 10 Englewood. Service.
Okay.
Highest service.
Okay, ambulance 3. Ambulance 6, disregard and return to quarters.
Ambulance 230 quarters. Oh, you service return to quarters.
Okay, ambulance 22.
Returning of service.
Okay, 77. Englewood to all ambulance handling fire department personnel. Report at your hospital destination. Call the office when you arrive at the hospital. Inglewood to all ambulance handling fire personnel. Report to Inglewood office when you arrive at the hospital. Ambulance handling Inglewood. Two main of Battalion 2. 82 to me. Battalion 2, you responded to 511 alarm fire as an ambulance. Engine 98 to Englewood. Engine 98 to Englewood. 98, if you have a south frequency, change to the south frequency. Engine 98 to Englewood. Inglewood at 98, go ahead. We think your spots at 622, 46, nothing here. Okay, 98, you change quarters and go in service engine 45. Okay, to 111. Company calling Inglewood, go ahead. Ambulance 4. We're returning to the scene of the fire. Did you handle fire department personnel? No. Okay, ambulance 4. 6-1 to me. 461. Okay. Inglewood to 424, ambulance 4 is returning to the fire. Message received. Ambulances removing fire department personnel, call the office from the hospital immediately. All ambulances removing fire department personnel from the 511, report to the office immediately. 213. The helicopter going to do? Stand by. Answer is no. Why don't you? We will. 10 main of Battalion 10. Battalion 10 have engine 8 go in service at engine 50 and engine 16 to their own quarters. 16 is on Inglewood frequency. I imagine engine 8 is there en route. Engine 8, did you get that? Engine 50. Right, engine 8. Engine 16 is to your own quarters. What is this with engine 16? Repeat the name. 484. 484. 484, you're pushing up with their region. That's 4, we cannot read you. 484, going in here, 511, I think you can offset. Okay, 484. 213. 213 to 511. Okay. Hey, Ford SS3. 424 SS3. Hey, Ford SS3. 4 to SS3. 424 to SS3. Ambulance 14. Just speaking of 50th and Halter, right on the northeast corner. 424 Inglewood 424. 215 to 424. 424 to Inglewood. A 4-8 of me, returning the quarters. Message received at 424 to Inglewood. Inglewood 424. Orders of 216 have all responding ambulances returned to their quarters. To their own quarters. Message received. Open the road. Closed. For the notice. All plans fine. Open the road. All ambulances, 14 Inglewood. Quarters to 511, return your own quarters. All ambulances and chief buggies operating as ambulances at the 511, return your own quarters. Ambulance 14, at all, by orders of 216, all ambulances are to return to their own quarters. Only 14 message received. That is an all ambulances on the scene now, Inglewood. Ultimate 18, message received. Ambulance 21, main ambulance 21. 124 to Inglewood. 424, go ahead. There's not going to be ambulances on the scene. Alright, ambulance 14, ambulance 14. Drive it through the main, returning to court. 14. Do remain on the scene if you're there. Main to all ambulances and buggies operating as ambulances. Remain on the scene, ambulance 18. All ambulance companies on the scene remain on the scene. Remain on the scene. All ambulances responding, return to your own quarters. To Inglewood. Go ahead, 424. 211 is on the scene. Message received 424. Edison advises the power is shut off between 50th and 51st, Halsted West. Do you want any more power shut off? That's all they want. Okay. Battalion 7-8, Battalion 7 on the scene in order to quarters by 216. Okay, Battalion 7. Do you have any further instructions? Stand by, Battalion 7. Battalion 7-8 to Inglewood. Inglewood, Battalion 7. By order of 216, we're ordered to quarters. Further instructions. 424 to Inglewood. Stand by a minute, Battalion 7. Go ahead, 424. One fighters on the scene. There's two ambulance companies and ambulance 1, ambulance 2, and division 2 for the Battalion 7. Returning the quarters. We're taking the filling. Okay, 424. Battalion 7, return to the quarters. Okay. Ambulance 1, ambulance 2, return to the quarters. Inglewood ambulance 1 and ambulance 2, return to the quarters. Yes, sir. Message received. 415 to main. Repeat the main. 415 to main. 415. That's the 511. Message received. 415, there's a plan 3 in effect on that fire. Battalion 7, Battalion 7. Battalion 7, this is Inglewood. Change quarters and go in service at Battalion 16. Change quarters to Battalion 16's quarters. That's for Battalion 7. Battalion 7, message received. Okay. 424 to engine 49. You have a line to the rear of the building that is burnt. Shut down. Engine 22 to me. 22. 8 service, returning the quarters. Okay, 22. 424, Ruben passing now. 417A and have me at 49th and Alfred. Okay. 245 to 424. 4178, 4178. We're calling 424. Repeat the message, please. We have a first line just down the line in the rear of the building. 417A, main of 417A. Oh, 2 lanes into a storm call. Who's that? Is it 49? What is anybody have a airline in the rear outside? I don't know. Four main engine 44. You're climbing 2756 low pass? 756 low. Okay. Hi, David. Message received, ambulance 20. 13 to main, 413 to main. 413. Away to Evangelical Deaconess Hospital. Message received. Engine 84. What is your message, Engine 84? What is your message, Engine 84? What is your message, Engine 84? Go ahead and have it work. Negative. This is 84 to 424. 84. Go ahead, 84. 24. Go ahead, 84. We do not have it. Quarter Inglewood. Inglewood 84. 84, send your message. Alright, stand by 84. Inglewood to 424. I read Engine 84 before, but we do not know their location, and I tried to raise them. All right. Did you get that 84? All right. Company's responding 2756 Wilcox for return to quarters. 413, 413. 424 to Inglewood. 413 to main, 413 to main. 413. 413, this is Inglewood. We have 424 to Inglewood. Definite lady at Inglewood, Central Community, and Evangelical. All right, I'll hit them all. All right. Inglewood to 424. The 213, he would like a report from the hospitals about injured firemen only. 424, advise 213. But we have tried to get that information from the hospitals, and they do not wish to give us that information. And the group is 210. Center of the main.